Is Morgz copying MrBeast? What is even going on here? Let's take a look. So everyone's been talking about this YouTuber known as Morgz, who has 10 million subscribers, and apparently Morgz has been copying MrBeast's style of videos and just ideas in general. So there's this picture that someone made, I don't know, and we could see here they're basically direct copies of MrBeast videos that this guy is making. So there's this one, I spent 24 hours straight in slime. MrBeast made that. And Morgz made, I spent 24 hours in slime. So the same idea, right? Different thumbnail in a way, sorta. This one's kind of excusable, okay? I spent 24 hours in an insane asylum. This one isn't as excusable because it's basically the exact same thing. Thumbnail is pretty much the same. They have the same sort of style of clothes. Alright, so next, I spent 24 hours straight in prison challenge. Morgz did the exact same thing. Very similar thumbnails. All his videos were released after MrBeast made his. So, what's going on here? Let's take a look at one more example here. MrBeast. I put 100 million Orbeez in my friend's backyard. Very weird video that's out in the blue, like you would not expect to find this on YouTube. No one can ever recreate this because it's such a weird idea, except Morgz did it. And what's even worse is that the thumbnail is basically a direct copy. You have all the Orbeez plus someone floating in them, except in his thumbnail there's his mom. But then if you look at the title, it's the exact same thing. The only difference is that Morgz put prank on the end of his title. You could have argued that the other videos were a coincidence, but after seeing this one, it's definitely not a coincidence. In the Orbeez video tags, he put MrBeast Orbeez, so he knows he's copying because he put MrBeast in the tags. MrBeast's videos are very unique. He clickbaits, but it's not clickbait because he does exactly what he says he does. This video, if another YouTuber did this, they would put like maybe 1 million Orbeez. But no, MrBeast, he actually put 100 million. He verified it, and he actually doesn't lie in the title, so it's really not clickbait. But look, I'm gonna give Morgz the benefit of the doubt here, okay? Obviously, they make the same type of content. Extraordinary ideas that they actually end up doing. So that's their style of content, both channels. Except Morgz does what MrBeast does. So I pulled up some examples here, and we're gonna analyze these videos, okay? Okay, so let's look at MrBeast's video first. I put 100 million Orbeez in my friend's backyard. It starts out with him explaining what he's doing, and him buying the Orbeez.
This is 50,000 Orbeez.
And then they start like putting them in water so that they can expand. And then he goes into some random shenanigans, and they just start to have fun, you know? Like, if you have a bunch of Orbeez in your backyard, you're not gonna not take a swim in it. And so that's his video. It's easy to follow. But then if we look at Morgz's video here, they buy a bunch of Orbeez, they put it in the pool, and then they film his mom's reaction to it. So there is a difference between MrBeast and Morgz, which is that Morgz's videos are acting. You can't tell me that this isn't acting, especially the shot changes for each line. Like, if it was real life, the camera would have to pan, and it doesn't.
He must have taken too long getting his supplies.
Well, Morgan, that's good.
So Morgz puts stories in his content. MrBeast just does whatever. I don't know, MrBeast just does whatever. So why did Morgz get so successful? Well, he has good thumbnails and good titles. Now anyone could have done that, right? Anyone could have copied MrBeast's titles and thumbnails, but they have to execute it well. So the next part, after you have a good title and thumbnail, you have to make the video good as well. He has this obnoxious thing that a lot of kids actually like to enjoy watching. A lot of it's yelling for me, so I'm sort of turned off by that.
And the last to leave the desert island. Now that you guys know the challenge, let's meet the challenger.
A MrBeast video feels calmer. This one just feels loud. But, you know, it's different styles. Now, not all of Morgz's videos are actually copying MrBeast. You know, he has a lot of different challenges, MrBeast style. You might be saying, wait a minute, the last time Morgz actually copied MrBeast was like 2 months ago, look here. But that's not true. Let's look here, this is another video. This one is by Morgz. I bought everything in the mall challenge, posted 2 weeks ago, where he goes into a mall and he buys stuff from every store. Now MrBeast posted a similar video called I bought everything in a store challenge, where he actually cleans out a store by buying every product there. So MrBeast bought out an entire store. Morgz acted like he bought out an entire mall. You can see how close the content is, except that Morgz changed one word from store to mall. But the thumbnails are the exact same. So yes, he was inspired by that video, and it's basically a copy. Now Morgz tweeted this, that there's this guy who's copying his thumbnails, all they're doing is switching out faces. And Morgz tweeted about that, saying, hey, why are you copying me, right? And Keemstar, he's like, hey, he's been copying MrBeast for months, look at these thumbnails. You can't really argue. All Morgz had to say was that he just thought it was funny, hence the laughing emojis. He didn't even recognize the MrBeast part in that joke. So he knows he's copying, he just doesn't want to admit it. It's hard not to copy people or inspiration you like. I've noticed that in my content, inspiration that I have from various YouTube channels is actually seeping through. You can't really notice it because it's all sort of a mashup of inspiration. So it is something new, but it's still derived from other people. Now Morgz, I guess you could say he is a combination of MrBeast and, well, do we know any other YouTubers who scream obnoxiously to a camera? Oh, yes we do. Now, I'm not trying to criticize him here because everyone copies people, you know? PewDiePie started copying Filthy Frank back in the day. Morgz is copying MrBeast. And as time goes on, I'm sure he will end up changing his content anyway, maybe get new original ideas. But for now, whatever. Still though, I just thought I'd cover this just so you guys could get an understanding of what's going on here, because a lot of people have been talking about it lately. That's all, yeah, don't unsubscribe, and fly on. I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new.